All right guys, so today's video, we're going to look at a brand new pair of wireless headphones from Skullcandy. This pair is only 30 bucks. So the pair we're gonna look at is the new Skullcandy Cassette Wireless. Now the first thing you're gonna notice is this is a bright blue pair of headphones, and it's available in black and purple as well. Skullcandy throughout the years has always offered some inexpensive headphones, at least different options instead of the more expensive models that they do have, and usually they're of like a cheaper build quality. They're usually overly boomy in the bass department, and they're not really anything special. So I went into this kind of having those same expectations, and by the end of the video, you may see why I was actually a little surprised. But let's go ahead and check out what's inside the box and some of the features that it has. Now, the first thing I do want to point out is it does have Bluetooth 5.0. I didn't experience any kind of lag or connection issues with watching videos or anything like that. Now, these do have 40mm drivers and they are on-ear headphones. So if you're expecting over-the-ear ones that like completely go around your ear, that's not what these are. Now, one thing that I think is really cool about these, the accessories that they include, which is the auxiliary cable so that you can use it wired, and the micro USB cable is a matching blue. So whatever color pair of headphones you get, you're getting accessories that match it. Now, again, one thing I don't think is cool is the fact that they're still using micro USB. But speaking of the charging cable, the battery life is very interesting here because on the box, it says 13 hours, which I did get. I don't have any issue there. But on their website, it says that the Skullcandy Cassette Wireless gets 22 hours of battery life. It also shows on the website that it has fast charging where a 10-minute charge will get you 2.5 hours of use, where it doesn't say anything about that on my box at all. So I don't know if this is like an earlier model that I've got. I don't know, but I do know on their website it says something completely different than what I've got. Again, I look at it that this is a $30 pair of headphones, so even if I'm just getting 13 hours of battery life and I don't have a fast charge feature, I'm completely fine with that for 30 bucks. So now on to the build quality of these. This is kind of what I expected. It is a very plasticky, very flimsy type headphone, which again, for the most part is going to be fine. But I did notice like during my durability test, which is usually where I just extend these things out, twist them and pull them as much as I can, underneath the headband, where the headband padding's located, you can see that it's starting to show signs of cracking, which this is from me pulling these things all the way out, which I don't recommend that you do, but I always do it to test how much these headphones can actually take. So it's just something you might want to know over time if these are given to somebody that just doesn't take care of their headphones, that there's going to be the possibility of these cracking. Now, the padding that's on these, again, like I said, these are on ear. They are actually very, very soft. The headphones themselves don't have a tight clamp, but they definitely stay on. So like if you're running or something like that, they're not gonna fall off. Now they do fold down. The one thing I'm kind of confused at, because Skullcandy always included like the little soft pouch that you could throw your headphones in, they're not included. So even though it does fold down, you just have to fold it down and just throw it in your bag or whatever. It does not include any kind of carrying pouch. As far as your controls, it does have the usual 3 buttons that Skullcandy uses, and that controls everything like your play, your pause, skip forward, going back to your previous track, your volume up and down, and you can even summon your smart assistant. So this has microphones on it as well for taking calls. So anything you need to do, you will be able to do right on the headphones themselves, and you're not gonna have to pull out your phone, which is always a plus. So now let's get into the sound. Because I went into this thinking, just the same as always with their inexpensive pair of headphones, this was going to be a boomy, bass-heavy headphone where the other 2 frequencies are just kind of left behind. And I wasn't wrong in the fact that these are very boomy and bass heavy. They're also very loud. Volume levels are extremely high on these, which is a plus. Now the mids are not very forward. They're not doing anything to stand out, but they're not getting left behind either. Vocals came through fine. Vocals were extremely clear. It honestly never felt like vocals were getting lost in the music. But the bass is very, very boomy, very, very punchy, thick. It's a warmer sound signature, which is really good if you're somebody that's working out and you need that kind of dynamic sound and energy to keep you going. And the treble is also very tuned up as well. So it's a brighter sound with a boomy bass, but it's with mids that are doing just enough to not get lost. So if you're listening to stuff like classical or easy listening type stuff, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them for that because the sound stage on these, the best way to explain it is it sounds like two very loud bass heavy speakers in front of you, but still being able to hear vocals fairly well. The one thing I had to keep in mind when we're viewing these is it is a $30 pair of Bluetooth headphones. And so I had to look to who I thought this was for. Anybody that's a student, you know, kids all the way, you know, high school, college, especially with the colors being offered, this is a very good option, especially if you're concerned that it might not be taken care of and you don't want to invest a whole lot of money. Another thing is to have that extra pair, so your really expensive pair, if you don't want to take them out running or taking to the gym, this is a pair that's easy to just throw in a bag and you don't have to worry about. I do think as far as some cons go, the build quality is a little bit of a concern. I really wish they would have included the carry-in pouch because these do fold down. I would just like to have something to throw them in and to know they're not going to get destroyed that way. So overall, I think the sound on these are very dynamic, very boomy, but they did a really good job this time of the bass just not coming in and destroying the other frequencies. I think this is a very good option for a bunch of different people for a bunch of different uses. And $30 makes you feel better to know you don't have a whole lot of money invested in something that is definitely getting the job done. So guys, that's my review of the new Skullcandy Cassette Wireless. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.